It is a pleasure to welcome to the show for the first time ever. A guy everybody in town knows, former NBA star, college basketball legend, and now an author. Rex Chapman's memoir with Seth Davis, It's Hard for Me to Live With Me, is out, and Rex is on with us to talk about it. Rex, good morning, man. How are you?
Good morning, fellas.
Hi,
Author.
Rex. Author, yes, you are.
How do you like that title, Rex?
About as well as I like influencer.
Well, you've been both.
Yeah, you've been
both. That's fantastic. I love
what's up, guys?
I love the title. It's hard for me to live with me because I think everybody can relate because everybody feels that way, and I think you've got a very, very special story of struggle and recovery, if you will. And I've admired you for many, many years for your courage to talk about this and to deal with this honestly. What was the thought process behind doing this book? Who are you trying to reach? What are you trying to say?
Oh, that's tough. Thanks for having me, guys. I think more than anything, my kids. And when I got in trouble here in the Valley, you guys, Dan, Vince, that was 10 years ago, and our oldest child, Zeke, who you guys know, he was 20, and our youngest was roughly 10. Everybody in school, a couple in college, a couple in middle school. And, I embarrassed them. I embarrassed myself, my family, my friends, and I've said this for a week now. My friends' kids who all looked up to me. I just had so much support throughout the years to disappoint so many people, and to disappoint myself was really tough to live with. The title of the book was really just something that I said one day to Seth, and he jotted it down, and we found a place for it in the book. But I think that I wanted to try to show my kids a better me and kind of explain a little bit of where I've been. And you guys knew me as a player. To a year and a half later, after I finished playing, to land in rehab was really humbling. I didn't drink and smoke throughout my career, and within 18 months of retiring, going into rehab for eating 40, 50 pills a day and not being able to stop it was a shock to my system, and something that, it spiraled me for about 14 years. So I was glad to get ahead of it finally in 2014.
Rex Chapman, our guest here on Bickley and Murata Mornings. You said, the goal to reconnect, to reach your kids, but in the process, when you put out something like this that is so raw and so personal to you, in the process, you obviously reach thousands of others because of the issues that are going on with opioids in this country. As you well know, Rex, there's thousands and thousands of people that are dealing with things that you dealt with. What has the feedback been from those people? Because you're a public guy, you're out and about, you're at the Suns games just about every night. I mean, what kind of response have you had from those people who have had similar experiences?
Guys, for about 10 years now, I've been experiencing something like this. It's because I started back, really trying to speak, to, work my way back into life and speaking to groups and whatnot. Really, I felt it was doing some good, sharing my story, but I could see that, people, for instance, I went and dropped my dog off once, and I think this is in the book. I went and dropped my dog off at the kennel. Came back a couple of days later to pick it up. So this is a local place in Lexington, Kentucky, where most everyone knows me. And this lady came up to the car after I picked up my dog. She was picking up her dog as well, and older lady, she came up to me and she had tears in her eyes, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And I assume people want to talk basketball whenever they see me, so she came up and she was just crying, saying that she heard an interview that I did, and her son was in rehab right now, her adult son. And she just wanted to talk. It was a podcast that she listened to that I'd done. That's what it was. And she was just calling to say that it gave her a little bit of hope for her son. And, man, hope sometimes is just all you need to get through the day.
Yeah.
And so that kind of stuff, it's that kind of reaction, which is odd, but it's, I think, a little gratifying.
You know, and I'm sure it's therapeutic for you in sort of not only your recovery, but for your ability to forgive yourself for becoming somebody you never thought you would. And you probably had every excuse in the world, you know, from the surgery you had with your appendix to getting hooked on opioids. This is not uncommon. This happens to people. If you were going to reach people who are dealing with addictions who can't get out the other end, what would you tell them? How do you do it?
Oh, you know, you said something there, Dan, that I think about a lot, and it's something that people in recovery know. And you said you can see where, you know, you had those surgeries, Rex, and you're hurt, and you could come by it. It's almost like, and you didn't say this, Dan, I'm saying how I hear it. It's almost like you're saying, hang on, where were we? Oh, sorry, my mind does that sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
So remind me where we were.
Well, we're talking about if there are addicts out there who are wondering, how do I get out in front of this the way Rex did, what would you tell them?
You made it, or I heard it, you saying, it sounded almost noble, like I came across it honestly. And, you know, because I was an athlete and I got hurt, anybody can see that. Here's the deal. It doesn't matter how you got there, whether you came by it honestly, so to speak, or whether you went out on a 3-day bender and you're hooked. You're there now. It doesn't matter how you got there. You are there. And now you got to get out. It's all the same trying to get out. So, you know, I understand how I got there, and we all have our story. But once you're there, you're there. And then you got to dig out, and that's the hardest part.
Rex Chapman is our guest here on Bickley and Murata Mornings. Before we let you go, we know you're still following the Suns. You're a Valley resident now. You're at the games. How about that win last night?
Yeah,
Rex?
how about it?
Man, there is nothing better than going on the road and winning a basketball game, much less going on the road when you're kind of, you know, down and wounded a little bit, and beating arguably the best team in the league and the defending champs. That was a huge win last night. I'm so happy for the guys, all of them, coach and staff.
Yep.
Rex, players and staff.
Yeah, Rex Chapman's book, It's Hard for Me to Live with Me, a memoir. Wrote it with Seth Davis. It's out. It's wherever you get
Rave
books.
Rave
reviews. Rex, I'll tell you this, too. I ordered mine on Amazon right before we started this interview. It's arriving tomorrow. I can't wait to dive into it.
There you go.
Guys, I got books for you. I'll see you at the game.
Thank you, Rex. You're the best, man.
All
right,
see
Rex,
you, buddy.
take care.
All right,
Rex
fellas.
Chapman, our guest on the Arizona Sports Line.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Murata. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.